ठीक है. A lot of people don't know Hindi. कोई problem नहीं. I'll try to speak in as much English as possible, and then I'll give explanations in Hindi again. Right? Awesome. So let's start off with a very basic definition. Before actually going into IPO explanation and how to pick up IPOs and what are the factors which impact IPO success or not, it's very important for us to understand the very basic definition of investor versus trader. Investor versus trader, right? And believe me, 99% of the people in the stock market get it very wrong. When I ask people what is an investor, what is a trader, they normally say investor long term ke liye hota hai, trader short term ke liye hota hai. That's not true. That's mostly true, but that's not 100% of the times true, right? The basic difference between investor and trader is investor focuses on value appreciation. Trader focuses on price appreciation, right? Now, as I said, I like to interact also with a couple of people. I can see some faces here, so I'll ask someone to unmute, right? And I'll narrate a story which some of you might have heard before, but some of you did not. So it'll be interesting for you guys. Let me give this opportunity to Mr. Shankar. Mr. Shankar Roy, can you hear me? Hi. You can unmute yourself now.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Hi, Mr. Shankar. How are you?
Fine, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Which city are you from?
I'm from Durgapur, West Bengal. Durgapur Steel City, West Bengal.
West Bengal. Nice, sir. Which bootcamp did you attend, sir?
OBZ Gonsol in the month of September.
Awesome. Fantastic. Great, sir. So let me just maybe discuss with you, and then with the discussion, it will be very clear what is an investor, what is a trader, right? So let's assume there's a market. There's a market in Mumbai, right? There's a market in Mumbai, and in that market in Mumbai, goods are sold, right? So there are a lot of sellers. So sellers are selling goods, and there are a lot of buyers. Buyers are buying goods, and these can be any goods, right? This can be a pen, this can be a water bottle, this can be anything, right? Any kind of goods. Buyers are buying, sellers are selling. This is a very vibrant market in Mumbai. All right. Now let's say a very rich guy from New York, right, flies down from New York to Mumbai, takes a loudspeaker, and announces on that speaker that I will buy anything at any price. I will buy anything at any price. Switches off the loudspeaker, takes the return flight to New York, and says bye-bye to Mumbai. All right. This is how it happened. Market में goods थे. एक बहुत अमीर आदमी आया न्यूयॉर्क से, मुंबई में आके लाउड स्पीकर पे बोला कि मैं सब कुछ बाय कर लूंगा किसी भी प्राइस पे. ठीक है. Now the question to Mr. Shankar is, इस मार्केट में, मुंबई की मार्केट में, after this announcement, what will happen?
डिमांड बढ़ेगा सर.
हाँ जी.
डिमांड बढ़ेगा पूरा.
डिमांड will increase. Why? डिमांड क्यों बढ़ेगा?
क्योंकि कोई आया तो वो कोई प्रोडक्ट खरीदना चाहा, इसलिए. तो
वो जो इंसान आया न्यूयॉर्क से, उसने क्या बोला कि मैं कोई भी गुड कोई भी प्राइस पे खरीद लूंगा, राइट? So what will people think? People will think that let me buy everything at any price, क्योंकि मैं बाद में उस न्यूयॉर्क वाले बंदे को बेच ही सकता हूँ, right? I can sell that good to that New York investor at a higher price, right? So all the participants in the Mumbai market will be turned into a buyer. Everyone will be turned into a buyer. There will be no seller left. हर कोई होल्ड करना शुरू कर देगा. Why? Because they feel whatever they buy, they can sell at a higher price to the New York investor. Right? Now, my question to you is this, Mr. Shankar. अगर आपने ये पेन बाय किया, because let's say after this announcement you bought the pen at ₹1000, did the value of this pen increase?
Yes, sir.
Value increase हुई क्या? या value increase हुई है, price increase हुआ है?
Price increase हुआ सर.
Value increase हुई है?
ना.
Value क्या होती है? So very good. So there's a fundamental confusion also कि value क्या होती है, price क्या होता है, और इन दोनों में difference क्या है? What is the definition of value? What is the definition of price? Right? I'll clarify that. Right? But in this market, value of goods is not increasing. Price of goods is increasing. Price of goods is increasing. Right? Did the New York investor buy anything? New York के investor ने कुछ buy किया क्या?
No, sir.
No. Right? But by this announcement, the prices started going up. Prices started going up, right? When everyone is turned into a buyer because they feel कि price ऊपर move हो जाएगा या फिर price, they will be able to find a seller. They'll be able to find a buyer at a higher price. They have a trading mentality. They have a trading mindset because they are only concerned about, let's say, price increasing, price appreciation. Okay. By the way, whatever I explained you by this in this simple story is also a let's say demonstration of a bubble in the market. It's also a demonstration of a bubble in the market. All right. Why? Because due to, let's say, increased liquidity, assets which are not valued, or the value of assets is not increasing, but the price keeps on increasing because of some notion in the market that it happened in let's say 2007-8, where people believed that real estate prices will keep going up. Real estate prices will keep going up, and you'll always be able to find a buyer at a higher price. That was a perceived notion, and that's where it led to a bubble, and that's where it crashed in 2008. Right? When value in the market increases, while value of assets in the market increases, that is not a bubble. A lot of people kept on asking me in the multi-bagger bootcamp also that Sensex has been going up, Nifty has been going up in the last 1 year. I showed them that the value of the top 50 companies, the top 30 companies has increased. How? I'll tell you how. Value क्या होता है किसी कंपनी का, वो मैं आपको बताऊंगा. Price was increasing, but price was increasing due to the value increasing, not the perceived notion. Not the perceived notion. Right? So there's a basic difference between value and price. Investor and trader. Investor focuses on value, trader focuses on price. I'll give you another simpler example. All right? Onion, ठीक है, प्याज. Onion का जो भाव होता है, onion का जो price होता है, the price of onion keeps on moving every season, right? So I think by September or October, the price of onion is the highest, and it happens every year in India. Every year, the price of onion in September, October is the highest. It's around like 80 rupees, whatever, 80, 90 rupees per kg, right? It is the lowest in March, April, May, right? So let's say you hoard onions and you have a storage, facility available. You hoard onions in March and you sell it off in September. Is the utility of one onion more to you in September than April? No. The value of onion is same. Value of onion क्या है? Onion मतलब सब्जी में डलता है, सलाद की तरह यूज होता है, right? The utility that you get from onion is the same, but the price increases. Price primarily increases because of supply demand. ठीक है? तो जब onion आप मार्च, अप्रैल में बाय कर रहे हैं, सितंबर में सेल कर रहे हैं, you are primarily a trader because you have price appreciation mindset कि प्राइस अप्रिशिएट कर जाएगा. यूटिलिटी उसकी नहीं बढ़ रही है, उसकी यूटिलिटी इंक्रीज नहीं हो रही है. All right? In fact, a lot of people also confuse real estate investing. It's a wrong term. You should not call investing in real estate as investing, because most of real estate investing is also real estate trading. Because you have a perceived notion कि यार मैंने जो आज प्लॉट खरीदा है वो 1 साल बाद उसका प्राइस बढ़ जाएगा और आप किसी ग्रेटर फूल को बेच दोगे. ठीक है? That's also trading. That's not investing. It'll be called investing if you started doing farming in that land, on that land. और अगर आप कैलकुलेट करो कि इस लैंड से, इस एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड से मुझे कितनी रिटर्न्स मिल रहे हैं, then that is the utility. Then that is the utility of that agricultural land or that real estate plot. ठीक है, बेसिक डिफरेंस समझ आ गया इन्वेस्टिंग ट्रेडिंग में?
यस सर।
ठीक है, इट्स वैल्यू अप्रिशिएशन, ट्रेडिंग इज प्राइस अप्रिशिएशन। ठीक है, ट्रेडिंग इज प्राइस अप्रिशिएशन। ठीक है, ये याद में रखिए, ध्यान में रखिए। ठीक है, let's move forward. Mostly investing is long term. Why mostly it is long term? Because value appreciation takes long term. Value appreciation does not happen in, let's say, 1 year. It does not happen in 3 months, right? It mostly takes long term, right? Whereas price appreciation can happen in 1 day also. It can happen in 1 hour also, right? So you should have the clarity in your head कि यार पहले investing और trading होता क्या है, अलग अलग कर देते हैं इसको। जब भी आपका प्राइस एप्रिशिएशन की तरफ ध्यान जा रहा है कि इसका प्राइस बढ़ जाएगा, आप समझ लीजिए आपकी ट्रेडिंग मेंटालिटी है उस टाइम पे। ठीक है, awesome, let's move ahead. Now this is the growth engine. This will be nostalgic for everyone who attended the multi-bagger bootcamp. We repeated this at least 10 times in the bootcamp. This is the business growth engine. This is the business growth engine. Let me actually spend some 2-3 minutes on this. You'll be able to understand. You'll be able to understand how a business works, how a business grows, what is the value, or let's say what is the utility in the business, and what is the price, what is the perception in the business. ठीक है, वो मैं आपको बहुत simple logical way में clear कर दूँ, right? Any business, if you consider it as a black box, right? The entire team, processes, technology, everything that goes inside the company is in that black box. ये जो ब्लैक बॉक्स है, ये बिजनेस का ब्लैक बॉक्स है। ठीक है, in very simple terms, this black box takes capital as input, it takes capital as input and gives profits as output. ठीक है, बहुत सिंपल है। ठीक है, बिजनेस का और कोई वो रैशनल तो नहीं होता ना। बिजनेस, कोई भी बिजनेस करता है इसी चीज के लिए करता है कि यार at scale, let's say in a steady flow, I should, if I'm putting 100 rupees, I'm getting 200 rupees back, right? That's the final state. That's the final state everyone wants to achieve, right? If I'm putting 100, I'm getting 200 rupees back. Let's say 200 rupees as output, right? So capital goes as input, profits are output, right? What happens is businesses can pick up some of the profits, some of the earnings, and reinvest into the business again. Right? And with that reinvestment, growth starts off. Let me give you an example. Let's say in a very simple business, you put in 100 rupees as input, you get 200 rupees as output, 200 rupees as revenue, as in 100 rupees profit ho gaya aapko. You put 100 rupees, you get 200 rupees output, revenue, 100 rupees is the profit. Out of the 200 revenue, what you did was you picked up 150 again and reinvested into the business. Now, what will happen if I input 150? What is the answer? What will be the output? If I input 150, what will be the output? Agar 100 डाला था, 200 निकला था. Right? It's a simple black box. If I input 150, what will be the output? 300. It'll double. Right? So if I input 150, it'll give output as 300. From the 300, I'll pick up 200 and reinvest again. Right? If I input 200, what will be the output? 400. Right? From the 400, I'll pick up 300 and reinvest again. What will be the output? 600. Right? Now you are getting to understand how a very, very simple business grows. It's not rocket science. It's very, very simple, very commonsensical, right? अब ये जो मैंने आपको पढ़ाया, इसी से जितने भी मैट्रिक्स बनते हैं, जितने भी फंडामेंटल रेशियोज बनते हैं, जितने भी फंडामेंटल एनालिसिस के मैट्रिक्स बनते हैं, इसी से बन जाते हैं। कैसे? One of the most important metrics in any business is the efficiency of the black box. The efficiency of the business. What do you mean by the efficiency of the business? If I input 100 rupees, how much it is giving as output? Right? We call this efficiency metric as the return on capital employed. ROCE. How much capital have you employed and what is the return you are getting on that capital? Right? And very commonsensically, ROC जितना हाई होगा उतना ही अच्छा है, क्योंकि उतनी ही ज्यादा efficient business machine है, right? If let's say one business has an ROC of 10, which means if I input 100 rupees as capital, it gives 110 as revenue, 110 as revenue, which means 10 rupees profit, right? In comparison, there's another business which gives ROC of 50, which means if I input 100 rupees, the output is 150, right? So more the ROC, more efficient the business is, the better it is as a business. Basically, it can grow faster, right? जितना ज़्यादा output आएगा, उतना ही मैं ज़्यादा reinvest कर पाऊँगा. My ability to reinvest will be higher, right? And then I can keep growing like that. A business with an ROC of, let's say, 50 will be able to grow much faster than a business with ROC of 10. All right? ROC is nothing but, ROC क्या है? Efficiency of business, return on capital employed. Simple, ठीक है? फिर और क्या metrics होंगे? क्या reinvestment rate कितना है? मैंने 200 रुपए कमा लिया, let's say 100 रुपए डाला, 200 रुपए निकल गया, but 200 में से कितना reinvest कर पा रहा हूं? ठीक है? वो भी तो होना चाहिए metric, right? क्या पता एक business है जिसमें reinvestment का scope ही नहीं है, reinvestment का scope ही नहीं है. For example, I'll tell you one such business, ITC, right? ITC makes cigarettes, ठीक है? ITC has 90% market share in cigarettes, 90 to 95% market share in cigarettes, right? They make tons of profit. They make so much profit they can't even handle it, right? Can they reinvest all that cash? Where will they reinvest that cash into the cigarette business? They cannot. That's why what they have done is they have entered other domains to reinvest that cash somewhere else, right? So reinvestment rate also becomes a very important or interesting metric to look at. Awesome. Now, when I said capital, you input as capital, the first question that should come to your mind is, where is that capital coming from? मैंने आज बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया, डे 1 पे कैपिटल कहां से आएगा? या फिर is capital only required on day 1? No, right? But then where is the capital coming from, right? Now capital in India can come from two sources. Not in India, internationally it can come only from two sources. Two type of capital is available to business. One is debt capital. Debt capital मतलब मैं किसी से उधारी ले लूंगा, मैं किसी से लोन ले लूंगा, मैं किसी से लोन ले लूंगा, right? That's debt capital. The other kind of capital is equity capital. Equity capital. All right. Normally, in the very start of the business, whatever money goes into the business is founder's money. Right? That's equity capital. For example, when I started off Bootcamp X, right? Whatever money that I had, whatever money I had put into Bootcamp X came from savings that I had, right? Came from savings that I had, right? So wo saving I invested as capital, right? And then in return, I got some equity. I got equity in the company, and that's equity capital, right? When the company grows, you can also get equity capital from outside investors, right? You can reach out to people, let's say angel investors, VCs, PE funds, etc., and can sell some of the equity in the company to those VCs, those angel investors, and get equity capital from them, right? The second way is debt capital, which is you get loan. Let's say you get business loan from a bank. अब business loan bank मेरे को बता सकते हैं आप चैट में, business loan इंडिया में average business loan का rate of interest क्या है? Average business loan का rate of interest क्या है? 6% is very low. See, I'll tell you, of course, rate of interest depends on how big is the company, how stable is the company, how stable are the cash flows, right? उनका खुद का credit score क्या है? ठीक है, companies का भी credit score होता है. There's a company called CRISIL, वो क्या करती है? Companies को credit score देती है. ठीक है, तो उनका भी credit score होता है. तो सब कुछ depend करता है, rate of interest उस पर depend करेगा, but normally it is around 10%. Normally it is around 10 to 12%. Normally, right? 10 to 12% can be assumed as the rate of interest for business, right? Now let's say capital through debt way. is available at 10 to 12%. 10-12% तो मेरा cost of capital है through debt. Can a company with an ROCE of return on capital employed of less than 10% be able to grow? Can a company less than 10% ROCE grow in the market? No. Why not? Very common sense, right? ROCE, return on capital, is less than cost of capital. Cost of capital 10% है, return on capital कितना है? 5% है. क्यों कर रहे हो business? धंधा क्यों कर रहे हो? क्यों कर रहे हो business? Right? But you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised that 80% of the companies in India, 80% of the listed companies in India have ROCE of less than 10%. I'm not so sure what gives them motivation to get up in the morning and go to business and then only earn 5%. Because they can very well deploy their crores of capital. जितना भी उनका पैसा है वो म्यूचुअल फंड में लगा दो यार. लिक्विड फंड में 6% मिलता है. आप दिन भर दिमाग चलाओगे, बिजनेस करोगे, and if you're only earning 6%, and if you're not even growing, then what the hell are you doing? Right? So a good business should have an ROCE of more than cost of capital. Cost of capital in India is 10-12%. It should be more than that. In the multi-bagger bootcamp, we taught that we have to keep ROCE of at least 15%, and normally it is recommended that an ROCE of company should be more than 20%. Recommended is 20%, but at least it should be 15%. 15% is the hard limit that we keep for all companies that we invest in. All right. अब इस जर्नी में कुछ कैपिटल में लेट्स से उठा लूंगा बैंक से, कुछ कैपिटल लेट्स से इक्विटी इन्वेस्टर से आना शुरू हो जाएगा. बट देन आई कैनॉट कीप रेजिंग कैपिटल लाइक दैट फ्रॉम इक्विटी इन्वेस्टर्स, फ्रॉम डेट, फ्रॉम बैंक्स, एटसेट्रा. That is where the concept of going public also comes in. Going public also comes in, right? When you cannot keep on raising money, more and more money from equity investors, then you go public, then you launch an IPO. You go to SEBI and you say कि यार मुझे और पैसा चाहिए, and I want to raise money from crores of retail investors in India, right? So that's where you go public. That's where the IPO comes in, right? So we'll talk about IPO also. So what the summary was, if you, let's say, think very first principles, if you think from first principles, all the business metrics, all the fundamental ratios are very, very easy to understand. And of course, we'll pick it up later in the last session also, where I'll be walking you through Screener. Screener में आपको बताऊंगा भी कि कौन से fundamental ratios important है और कैसे figure out करनी है companies, right? Now there's an equation written below this growth engine, right? That equation written is stock price is equal to PE multiple into EPS. Stock price is equal to PE multiple into EPS, right? Now, I'll give you a very contrarian view, and a lot of people are not able to understand this, but once you hear it, you'll find it very, very logical and very commonsensical, right? The price of any object is actually nothing but utility of the product multiplied by perception of the product. Okay, so let's talk about this smartphone. This is a Samsung smartphone. ठीक है, इसके जो भी फीचर्स हैं, इसका जितना भी कैमरा है, जितनी भी मेमोरी है, whatever, there will be similar phones with the same features in different brands, right? Let's say 64 megapixel camera है, I'm not even sure of the features. जो भी features हैं, बाकी brands के भी available होंगे. But let's say same features का phone जो Samsung का आता है वो 20,000 का आता है, but जो OnePlus का आता है वो 40,000 का आता है, right? Is the utility of Samsung phone different from utility of OnePlus phone? No. But the perception differs. Why? Because how they are branded. So perception differs. Perception takes into account like a lot of things, right? Perception takes into account emotions also. But utility is hard fact, is objective. Utility is always objective. There are no emotions involved in utility. Utility क्या है कि इसकी फोटो मतलब 64 मेगापिक्सल कैमरा है, तो उसकी ये यूटिलिटी है, इतनी स्टोरेज है, तो ये यूटिलिटी है, इतनी बड़ी स्क्रीन है तो ये यूटिलिटी है, ठीक है, 2 डुअल सिम है तो ये यूटिलिटी है. So this is utility. Utility is hard fact. Utility can be written and then we can do a comparison. If it is same, it is same, right? There's no debate about it. But perception also involves emotions, right? Similarly, for stocks, stock price is also decided by utility and perception. What is utility? Utility is nothing but shares की क्या utility होती है? जब इन्वेस्टर कोई शेयर खरीद रहा है आईपीओ में या फिर आईपीओ के बाद, यूटिलिटी क्या है? Utility of a company or a utility of a share to an investor is decided by earnings that you're getting per share. That's it. I told you the whole objective, the sole objective of doing any business is earning profits. That's the sole objective. The sole utility of any investor into the business is how many earnings I'm getting per share. That's the EPS part. That's the utility part. That's the utility part. And that's the value. That's the value that you get. That's the value that you get from that stock. Right? Whereas perception is the PE ratio or the PE multiple. PE ratio or the PE multiple that you attach with that stock. Now, PE multiple, PE ratio is a perception game. It's an emotion game. Right? Two businesses with same utility might be priced very differently because the emotions or the perceptions involved with that two stocks are very, very different. Right? What we learned in the multi-bagger bootcamp was how do we focus on companies where utility, because we wanted to do long-term investing, we focused which are the companies where value will increase, where utility will increase, because in the long term, I'm not even concerned about the perception. Perception will take care of itself if I only and only focus on increasing utility. So that's where we focused on. We spent like 7 days on it. EPS should be growing. Perception will take care of itself. Right? Perception will take care of itself. And I tell you, long term mein, perception also follows utility trend. तो किसी कंपनी की अगर यूटिलिटी मतलब किसी कंपनी की अगर अर्निंग्स इंक्रीज हो रही है, एनीवे द परसेप्शन बिकम स्ट्रॉन्गर. वी हैव सीन एग्जांपल्स आल्सो इन द लास्ट 1 ईयर. मतलब जब भी पढ़ाए हैं, जितने भी एग्जांपल्स डिस्कस किए हैं वो ट्रू भी हुए हैं उसमें. इफ द यूटिलिटी इंक्रीजेस, perception also starts to increase. Perception also starts to increase, right? So in the long term, never focus on the P ratio. Never focus on the P ratio. This is the learning for all of you. People who did not even attend the multi-bagger bootcamp, अगर एक learning आपको इस slide से मिल जाती है वो ये है कि P ratio देख के डरा मत करो. P ratio देख के डरना नहीं होता. You should invest, if you are investing for the long term, invest in companies where utility or the value or the EPS will increase in the long term. Of course, there are ways to understand, let's say, understand whether the EPS of the company will grow or not and how much will it grow. There's a proper framework that is there, but focus on the EPS only. Focus on the EPS only. Right? Awesome. Fantastic. Praveen is saying Tanla platform. Yes, Tanla we discussed in the last book. Awesome. Okay. So I hope the utility, sorry, the value versus price is clear now from the stock perspective also. Stock perspective also, value and price is clear, right? जब investor हैं तो आप EPS पे ध्यान देंगे, जब आप trader हैं तो price appreciation पे ध्यान देंगे. ठीक है? बढ़िया. EPS is earning per share. Mr. Prasad is asking. EPS is earning per share. Net earning, net income divided by number of shares in the company, right? So let's say there are 100 investors, each having 1 share, and the company is earning 1,000 rupees. So 1,000 rupees divided by 100 shares is how much? 10 rupees is the EPS. 10 rupees is the EPS. PE means price to earning. Price to earning. उसको सिंपल भाषा में समझ लीजिए, कुछ नहीं है, परसेप्शन है वो. यूटिलिटी के ऊपर परसेप्शन कितना है. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर OnePlus की भी यूटिलिटी 20,000 ही है तो उसका परसेप्शन जो उसका PE है उसका 2 है, right? That's why it's priced at 40,000 rupees. All right? Awesome, fantastic. Now this is the framework. I'll not spend a lot of time because already it's 11:56. Harman, are you here?
Yeah, Akshay. So I was just checking. Manish sir has already joined. So
no. So can he hear me? Manish sir, can you hear me? Manish sir, can you hear me?
Just give me a moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to give an option to unmute.
Yes, Akshay. Good
Hi,
morning.
Manish sir, how are you?
Great.
Awesome. So Manish sir, I'll only take like 10 extra minutes. So
Yeah,
maybe
not a problem.
start at 12:10 or 12:15.
Fine. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. So we'll be starting off with Manish sir's session maybe at 12:10 or 12:15. All right. So I'll just maybe spend 10 to 15 minutes in covering the IPO stuff first, and then I'll not have time to cover the new age companies wala stuff, new age companies wala 2-3 pages that I have in this session. I'll cover that in the last session. All right. So Scrap framework is nothing but to identify long-term investments, right? So we first focus on sectors. How big is the sector? How quickly is the sector growing? There are particular themes that we have to identify. Themes you can identify by concepts of value migration. एक जगह से दूसरी जगह value migrate होती है because of different catalysts that are there in the industry, right? For example, I'll just give you a quick example ताकि आपके दिमाग में clear हो जाए value migration होता भी क्या है, right? There's a in general trend. There's a general trend of value migration of from public companies to private companies. From public companies to private companies. Why? Because public companies are not good at customer experience. They do not have efficient processes. They do not have efficient, let's say, mechanisms, right? So value migration to public companies to private companies hota hi hota hai. That value migration in a particular domain, let's say banking, started in 1990s. Private banking, the share of private banking has been continuously increasing from the last 25 years. Very, very evident if you look at the market share. In fact, that market share shifting, that value migration is still continuing. So in general, if you have to invest for the long term, private bankings are much better bet than public banks because trend is towards them, right? Market share is increasing. तो इसी तरह से हम वैल्यू माइग्रेशन स्पेसिफिक निशेस में भी जाके डिस्कस करते हैं कि यार प्राइवेट बैंक्स में भी कहाँ वैल्यू माइग्रेशन हो रही है, क्या कैटलिस्ट है उसका, right? Very interestingly, there's a value migration happening in the auto space also, right? From fuel-based cars to EV cars, right? And similarly, there can be value migrations happening in different industries, right? Chemical में China से India में आ रहा है, IT में कहाँ हो रहा है, startup में कहाँ हो रहा है. So if you have a good sense of value migration, then you can identify which companies or which niches to bet on, right? So that's theme identification and sector identification. Second is the compounding machines. Compounding machines की कुछ बातें तो हमने already कर ली, कुछ fundamental ratios हमें देखने रहते हैं. Plus we have to study moats. Moats are competitive advantages that companies have over their rival companies, right? So which actually helps them to grow much faster than the competition, right? I'm just giving a quick revision. ठीक है, जिन लोगों को नहीं भी क्लियर हो रहा है कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. जितना भी आईपीओ इन्वेस्टिंग में रिक्वायर्ड है वो तो आपका कवर हो जाएगा, ठीक है. रिजेक्शन क्राइटेरिया, फिल्टरिंग क्राइटेरिया, नथिंग बट रेड फ्लैग्स. एलोकेशन स्ट्रेटजी क्या है कि यार मेरे पास तो 50 स्टॉक्स आ गए तो मैं सब में इन्वेस्ट कर दूं क्या, कैसे एलोकेट कर दूं, और क्या लॉजिकल एलोकेशन प्रोसीजर भी होना चाहिए, प्रोसेस होना भी चाहिए. हाउ मच मनी शुड आई पुट इन वन स्टॉक एंड देन हाउ शुड आई रीएलोकेट, let's say whenever I'm adding a new investment or whenever I'm deleting an old investment, right? And psychology to win. We also spend like entire 2-3 hours on understanding long-term investing की psychology and how do you factor that, how do you take care of that while doing long-term investing. All right, so let's not go detail into scrap. Let's start with the IPO investing part. I'll be very frank, I'll be very honest with all of you. I dismissed IPO investing till let's say till I think September, when I was taking the boot camp, the last boot camp. I had very firm views कि मुझे IPOs में invest नहीं करना है. In fact, that was also taught to the students that were part of the boot camp. Some of the students might remember कि IPO में मत करो, IPO के बाद investment कर लेना अगर आपको long term के लिए देखना है. उसके कुछ reasons थे. What were the reasons for me to dismiss IPO investing? I'll tell you the reasons. Look at the first chart, right? The table shows the number of IPOs that have got listed in the last 10 to 11 years, and listing success and long-term success. Listing success is defined by it opened with a success, it opened with a gain on the listing day. Long-term success is since the time, from the time they are listed till now, have they given more than 10% annual return? So that's long-term success. So long-term success is nothing but have they given more than 10% return, and listing success is if you had a gain on listing day, right? So my general understanding of IPOs was listing success only recently has started giving us 70%. Only recently 70% of the companies have had listing success. Historically speaking, the data is not in my favor, right? If you see the average only 55% of the IPOs get listing success. They list on the listing day with a gain. Only 55% if you look at the last 10 years trend. So it's like 50-50. कि मतलब 50% gain भी हो सकता है, 50% हो सकता है loss हो सकता है, right? In the long term, if you think about it, in the long term, only 1/3 of the companies gave more than 10% annual return, and the average CAGR, average annual growth rate of these companies, if I had taken all these companies and if I had taken all these IPOs and if I had invested in them, I would have only grown at 10% annually. And 10% is not very exciting to me. 10% is not very exciting to me. I normally aim for, let's say, like 15-20%, more than 20%, right? That's where I dismissed. Looking at the data, I dismissed यार IPO investing तो नहीं करनी है, IPO के बाद ही invest करेंगे, right? Also, there were a couple of points that were supporting my belief. Couple of factors that were supporting my strong belief against IPOs, right? What were those factors? First was very less information is available about the company while IPO comes. बहुत कम information available होती है, ठीक है? क्यों होती है कम information? क्योंकि उसका कुछ trend नहीं है, right? Whenever a company does an IPO, in the DRHP, draft red herring prospectus. Draft red herring prospectus is the document that they publish. They actually publish and they give it to SEBI. तो DRHP सबको पढ़ना रहता है. DRHP में सिर्फ लास्ट 1-2 सालों का डेटा मिलेगा आपको. लॉन्ग टर्म हिस्टोरिक ट्रेंड्स आपको नहीं मिलेंगे about companies' revenues, companies' profits, companies' efficiency, etc. So you do not get long-term data, long-term historic data for when the company is doing IPO. If you compare that with the already listed companies would have shown कि यार ठीक है, इस क्वार्टर में quarterly मिलता है सारी listed companies का, इस क्वार्टर में ये रिजल्ट आया था. They also discuss that result as in what went wrong, what went good, what are their plans for the next quarter. You can open up the next quarter result and see whether the company, whatever the company said, whether it implemented that or not, right? So all that information is not available for an IPO company, right? So less information is available. Second, IPO allotment is a lot based on luck, right? So even if you, let's say, spend time analyzing a company and then apply in an IPO, then also it's dependent on your luck whether you'll get allotment or not, right? And it has a limited upside. Why limited upside? Because normally all the IPOs that I've seen in the last 2-3 years, they were oversubscribed, which means you will only get one lot. At the very best, you will get one lot. One lot is normally like 12 to 15,000. 12 to 15,000. Okay. Normally, my investments in any listed company is in the range of like 1 lakh, not less than 1 lakh. Why will I actually spend a lot of time in analyzing a company and only get 15,000 shares, right? So for me, there was limited upside. For me, it was limited upside, right? Third, because I knew the process of IPO inside out, right? I knew the process of IPO inside out. What is the process of IPO? When a company does IPO, you have to understand this. What is the objective of the company? कंपनी का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है कि मुझे ज्यादा से ज्यादा पैसा उठाना है, ठीक है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा पैसा उठाना है at the highest price possible, right? At the highest price possible. ज्यादा से ज्यादा पैसा उठाना है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा वैल्यूएशन चाहिए, ठीक है. That is the objective of the company. To meet that objective, they hire investment bankers. Now, investment bankers are smart people working in, let's say, JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley, all these big investment bank companies, and they advise, they consult the company कि भाई आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पैसा कैसे उठाना है, right? And they decide the price. at which you're going to buy. That's my biggest problem in investing in IPO, right? They decide the price. They decide the price. Right? Price is not decided by market knowledge, or let's say collective understanding or collective wisdom, I should say. If it is decided by collective wisdom, I can safely say कि हो सकता है मतलब कुछ तो ऐसे factors रहे होंगे कि यार इतने सारे लोगों ने ये price decide किया, right? But if it is decided by investment bankers, and that too, the objective is how to get more money into the company, then that price might not be suitable for me to invest in, right? So also, that's the first part, the price. Second, they use a lot of tactics to sell that IPO, to make that IPO a success. To make that IPO a success. Do you guys know that when, let's say, IPO is done, there's also an underwriting process that investment bankers do? Were you guys aware of that? Underwriting process, क्या होता है? पता है क्या? Yes, no? So what is underwriting process? So underwriting process is, let's say Zomato goes to investment banker and says that, hey, Morgan Stanley, our objective is to, let's say, raise $1 billion, and you are going to, let's say, lead that process. You are going to advise us on that process. But the condition is, if we are not able to hit 90% of the fund requirement that we have, 90% of the fund requirement that we have in this process, in the IPO process, the remaining of the money you will pay us. You understood? So Zomato, or let's say Morgan Stanley, also is underwriting the risk if IPO becomes a failure. Morgan Stanley says कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, हम 900 मिलियन तो ले ही आएंगे, अगर 900 मिलियन से कम लेके आए तो बाकी पैसा हम देंगे. मतलब there's a good risk, there's a big risk to Morgan Stanley also if the IPO fails. If the IPO fails, it's like IPO insurance. Yes, Nitin said it correctly. So what are the tactics they'll use? They'll actually build hype around the IPO. Believe me, there's a lot of money paid to YouTubers, to build hype around an IPO. So never take IPO advice from YouTubers. बहुत ज़्यादा पैसे मिलते हैं उनको. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ सबको मिलते होंगे, not saying that, but बहुतों को मिलते हैं, बहुतों को मिलते हैं. टीवी मीडिया चैनल्स को तो डेफिनेटली मिलते हैं. I can guarantee you that. मीडिया चैनल्स को तो डेफिनेटली मिलते हैं. They are paid to build hype around the IPO, and the Morgan Stanley can afford to pay that amount to media channels. Zomato can also afford to pay that to media channels. That's like a commission. क्या ठीक है, इतना ज़्यादा oversubscribe हो गया तो फायदा ही हमारा. Right? So that was one of the reasons why I actually stayed away from IPOs, because I knew the inside process of IPOs, right? And there were like two biases which normally because I'm aware of those biases and I teach those biases to students also, I wanted to stay away, because these are the biases which impact, which push people or which lure people to invest in IPOs. These are herd mentality, bandwagon effect, herd mentality. कि यार बाकी सब कर रहे हैं, if everyone is doing it, I'll also do it. So that's a bias that people have. And second is availability bias. Availability bias, you have to understand this. Availability bias or recency biases. If you focus on information which is recently available, or let's say which is vivid in nature, recently available या फिर vivid in nature, your attention will go towards that information and you will forget about other facts. मतलब स्टॉक मार्केट में तो 5000 कंपनीज हैं. अगर मैं लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए सोच रहा हूं तो मुझे 5000 को देखना चाहिए. Why the hell will I actually only focus on the companies जिसकी बातें हो रही हैं? But normally humans का दिमाग ऐसा होता है, investors का दिमाग ऐसा होता है कि जिसकी बातें ज्यादा चल रही हैं टीवी पे, यूट्यूब पे, whatever टेलीग्राम चैनल्स पे, मैं उसी की तरफ ध्यान देता हूँ. So that's called availability bias. Whatever available information I have, I'm focusing there rather than looking at the bigger picture, right? So because of these 4 or 5 reasons, because of these 4 or 5 reasons, I stayed away from IPO. But I asked this question again because a lot of people, even against my advice, started investing in IPOs. Right? And the reason was very clear. The reason was very simple. Sorry, the reason was very simple. They said कि यार अगर कंपनी अच्छी है लॉन्ग टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव से, अगर कंपनी अच्छी है लॉन्ग टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव से, अगर हमने कंपनी की एनालिसिस कर ली है, for example, let's say this long term success, in general the long term success is only 33% and the average CAGR is 10%, but the same process that we follow for listed companies, scrap framework, अगर same framework हम use करें IPOs के लिए भी, और ये figure out कर लें कि यार fundamentally अच्छी कंपनी है, then what is the harm in just applying? Because अगर मुझे मिल गया तो अच्छी बात है, I'll hold it for the long term. Otherwise it's okay, I did not get it, that's okay, right? And I also invested in 1 or 2 IPOs after that, right? कि ठीक है, मतलब अगर long term के लिए अच्छा है, I've analyzed all these things and I'm not impacted by these biases. I'm aware कि यार what price I'm buying at. I'm aware that less information is available, but whatever information is available to me through DRHP, that is sufficient for me to take a decision for the long term. Then should I invest in that IPO or not, right? And then if I invest in that IPO, will I get a listing gain or not, right? So that was a question that I had in mind in September, October, and I started figuring out the answer to that. So let me just stop sharing my screen and I'll take you to Google Chrome now. Right? So then I started to understand. One second. So the question was very simple कि यार अब invest करना चाहिए long term के लिए, करना नहीं या नहीं करना चाहिए, and then what will be the listing gain? Right? Let me just share the screen. Awesome. Are you able to see the screen, Hamid?
Yeah,
I
I
can.
can. Yeah.
ठीक है, बढ़िया. तो
मोबाइल पे हो सकता है ना ज्यादा ना दिखे.
If you're not able to see the mobile, hold it in the horizontal, let's say landscape view. ठीक है, landscape view में देखेंगे तो आपको अच्छे से दिखेगा. Now the question was very clear in my mind कि यार अगर कोई अच्छी कंपनी मिलती है तो उनमें इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए नहीं करना चाहिए, और अगर इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, so what are the chances to get listing gain also? My question changed. What are the chances to get listing gain? Also, can I improve my chances of getting listing gain or not? Right? Can I improve my chances of getting listing gain or not? Right? So I'm giving you, let's say, a disclaimer here. When I say I wanted to improve my chances of getting listing gain, I am entering the trading territory now. Because now I've started focusing on what? I've started focusing on कि यार मतलब जिस इशू पे आया था और लिस्टिंग गेन जब होगी, जैसी लिस्टिंग गेन होगी ग्रेन बढ़ेगा, मतलब मैं परसेप्शन की तरफ जा रहा हूँ, प्राइस एप्रिसिएशन की तरफ जा रहा हूँ. उन लेट्स से लिस्टिंग डे से लेके इशू डेट से लेके लिस्टिंग डेट तक उसकी वैल्यू तो नहीं बढ़ने वाली है ना, सिर्फ परसेप्शन ही है ना, ओनली परसेप्शन इज देयर. तो यहाँ पे मैं ट्रेडिंग टेरिटरी में जा रहा हूँ. मैं ट्रेडिंग टेरिटरी की भी एक लेट्स से डेटा के थ्रू I wanted to understand whether it works or not, right? So that's what I'm going to show you, right? So what are the different factors? What are the different factors that that can impact whether listing day success happens or not? So there are 3 to 4 factors that I actually made a list of. There are a couple of subjective factors. One is business in general कैसा है, right? Business in general कैसा है, market in general कैसी है, सेक्टर इन जनरल कैसा है. सो दीज आर सब्जेक्टिव फैक्टर्स. ऑब्जेक्टिवली इनको मेजर करना बहुत मुश्किल है, राइट? दूसरा सब्जेक्टिव फैक्टर ये भी हो सकता है, और क्योंकि मुझे उसका डेटा भी नहीं मिल पाया, बिकॉज दैट डेटा कैन बी वेरी वेरी डिफरेंट, कि व्हाट्स द स्प्लिट ऑफ द IPO shares which is getting launched in the market. Split of IPO shares, as in how many are primary shares and how many are secondary shares. Note it down please. प्राइमरी शेयर्स और सेकेंडरी शेयर्स क्या होता है? Primary shares are the shares which are introduced new into the company. नए शेयर्स कंपनी में इशू किए गए हैं ताकि आईपीओ में लिस्ट कर सकें, सेल कर सकें. सेकेंडरी शेयर्स क्या होता है? सेकेंडरी शेयर्स होता है एग्जिस्टिंग शेयर्स जो कि कोई होल्ड करता है, एम्प्लॉइज होल्ड करते हैं, फाउंडर्स होल्ड करते हैं, एग्जिस्टिंग इन्वेस्टर्स होल्ड करते हैं, उनकी सेलिंग हो रही है. So you can also look at the split of primary versus secondary. That's also like one important factor. But उसका मुझे डेटा नहीं मिल पाया. I'll be very very frank with you. उसका मुझे एक टेबल में कंसोलिडेटेड डेटा नहीं मिल पाया because I took data of last 10 years जितनी भी कंपनीज थी, right? ऑब्जेक्टिव डेटा मुझे क्या क्या मिल पाया? ऑब्जेक्टिव डेटा मिल पाया इशू साइज कितना है. इशू साइज क्या होता है? दिस इज इशू साइज. आई जस्ट जूम इन ऑल्सो ताकि सबको क्लियरली दिखे. वेरी गुड. तो इशू साइज क्या होता है? कितने करोड़ का इशू है, ठीक है. देन इन द नेक्स्ट 4 आर QIB, HNI, RII एंड टोटल. QIB, HNI, RII and total, right? Now, I'll just spend 2 minutes here. जब भी IPO आता है, जितने भी शेयर्स कंपनी सेल करना चाहती है उस IPO में, उसको 3 बकेट्स में डिवाइड किया जाता है. 3 बकेट्स में डिवाइड किया जाता है, ठीक है. QIBs get 50% of those shares. 50% quota is of QIB. QIB क्या है? Qualified Institutional Buyers. Institutions which have big money, mutual fund houses, PE houses, etc., etc., etc. These are QIBs. ठीक है. इनको मिलता है 50% कोटा. 50% कोटा, ठीक है. 50% कोटा QIB को मिल जाता है. मतलब मान लीजिए 100 करोड़ का अगर IPO 100 करोड़ रेज करना चाहती है कंपनी IPO के थ्रू, तो 50 करोड़ के शेयर तो QIBs को बाय करने ही करने पड़ेंगे. SEBI बोलती है 50 करोड़ तो QIB का है, ठीक है. वही बाय करेंगे, QIB ही बाय कर सकते हैं, ठीक है. उसके बाद आता है HNI या फिर NIIs भी बोलते हैं उसको, नॉन इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर्स या फिर HNIs, हाई नेट इंडिविजुअल्स. दे गेट 15% कोटा. 15% कोटा, 15% कोटा है HNIs का, ठीक है. इनकी डेफिनेशन क्या है? HNIs are the individuals who invest more than 10 lakh. Sorry, more than 2 lakh. More than 2 lakh. More than 2 lakh if you are investing in an IPO, 2 लाख से ज्यादा का लॉट है उनका, तो आप HNI कैटेगरी में शेयर्स बाय कर सकते हैं. HNI कैटेगरी में शेयर्स बाय कर सकते हैं, right? That's 15%. Then comes retail investors, RIIs, right? उनकी जो फुल फॉर्म है वो है रेजिडेंशियल इंडिविजुअल इन्वेस्टर्स. इंडिया के रेजिडेंशियल है, रेजिडेंशियल इंडिविजुअल इन्वेस्टर्स, रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स. दे गेट 35% कोटा. 35% कोटा is with RIIs. Got it? Now 100 करोड़ है, 50 करोड़ QIBs को मिला, HNIs को मिला 15%, 15 करोड़, retail investors को मिला 35 करोड़. Now each of these individuals, each of these institutes, HNIs and retail investors will start bidding and will applying for a lot. Will start bidding and applying for a lot. Different process is followed across QIBs, HNIs and RIIs. RIIs का बहुत सिंपल रहता है, बहुत सारे लोगों को ऑलरेडी अवेयर होंगे. You have to go to a broker and apply for a lot. Right? You have to decide a cut-off price. Cut-off price basically होता है उसका. उस cut-off price पे आपको अप्लाई कर देना है. आपको लॉट की अलॉटमेंट बाद में मिलती है अगर आपको मिल रहा है, ठीक है. सो दैट्स द प्रोसेस टू बी फॉलो. अब 35 करोड़ जो रिटेल को मिला, उसके अगेंस्ट बिड्स कितनी आई? अगर बिड्स आ गई 70 करोड़ की, तो ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन हो गई बाय 2 टाइम्स. ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन हो गई बाय 2 टाइम्स. दैट इज व्हाट इज रिटन हियर. ये जो आपको नंबर दिख रहा है, दैट इज व्हाट इज रिटन हियर. दिस इज ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन इन दैट पर्टिकुलर कोटा. ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन इन दैट पर्टिकुलर कोटा. 52 MTAR Tech की बात कर रहा हूं. This is a IPO which came in on 15th of March in 2021. Issue size was 600 crores, almost 600 crores. तो 300 crores QIB को कोटा मिला था, but QIBs, let's say, made a bidding for 50 times that amount. 300 crore है, 300 crore into 50, 15,000. 15,000 crores की bidding आई in the QIB quota, which is QIB quota got oversubscribed by 50 times. HNIs got oversubscribed by 522 times. 522 times. And RIIs got oversubscribed by 12.78 times. All right. RIIs got oversubscribed by 12.78 times, right? And total 100 crores थे, अगर 600 crores थे, total oversubscription कितनी थी, right? So these are the objective metrics. बाकी issue प्राइस भी कितना है उसको भी मैंने ऑब्जेक्टिव मेट्रिक ले लिया, हो सकता है कि ये भी कुछ फर्क डालता हो. तो सबसे पहले तो मैंने 10 साल का जो डेटा निकाला, आई correlated all these metrics with the opening gain यहां पे लिखा है, ओपनिंग गेन यहां लिखा है. अब आपको कोरिलेशन के फॉर्मूला में नहीं जाना है. कोरिलेशन इज नथिंग बट इट वेरीज फ्रॉम -100% to 100%. जितना क्लोज टू 100% है कोरिलेशन, उतना ही ज्यादा फैक्टर है, उतना ही ज्यादा डिपेंडेंट है लिस्टिंग डे गेन, ओपनिंग गेन ऑन दैट फैक्टर. Now clearly I was very surprised that total oversubscription can have, let's say, a 73% correlation. 73% correlation with opening day gain. 73% correlation is a very strong correlation. In fact, anything above 50 is strong, but 73% though amazing है, right? Issue size has a negative correlation. सेंस भी बनता है. क्यों सेंस बनता है? क्योंकि अगर बहुत ज्यादा पैसा डाल रही है तो हो सकता है उतनी लोग बिड करने वाले हो ही ना, तो उतनी ज्यादा डिमांड ही ना हो पाए. तो जितना ज्यादा इशू साइज बड़ा होगा, उतना हो सकता है कम चांसेस है कि ओपनिंग डे गेन मिलेगा. जितना छोटा इशू साइज होगा, जितने कम लेट्स से आईपीओ में रेज करना चाहती है, उतना ज्यादा चांसेस हैं कि बढ़ जाएगा प्राइस दिन में. ठीक है. बाकी ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन का भी सेंस बनता है कि यार 60%, 65%, 71%, 73% है, तो the strongest correlation is with the total oversubscription, right? That's what I found, right? Now I did a simple pivot on this and found out this. I'll just show you this. Awesome. So this people from Multi-Bagger Bootcamp also remember कि यार this is something that I do very often, and I teach them कि यार total threshold, total oversubscription का threshold कितना निकालें जिससे ऊपर हम सेफ हो जाएंगे कि ओपनिंग डे गेन तो मिल ही रहा है, लिस्टिंग डे गेन तो मिल ही रहा है. ठीक है. तो पहले यहाँ पे 1 डाल के देखते हैं. ठीक है. मतलब ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन सिर्फ 1 गुना हुई, मतलब ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन हुई नहीं है. ठीक है. ग्रेटर देन 1 आ गई 272 कंपनीज, मतलब टोटल 294 कंपनीज में तो में से 272 कंपनीज की मोर देन 1 ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन, राइट? माय विन रेट इज लेट्स से हाउ मच, 68%. नॉट वेरी एक्साइटिंग, राइट? विन रेट एज एन I got listing success and my average gain is also 18.25%. कि issue price से listing price में gain कितना होगा. ये सबको समझ आ रहा है? कोई डाउट तो नहीं है? सो तो नहीं गए अभी तक? सबको समझ आ रहा है? नहीं समझ आ रहा है? साइन जी को समझ नहीं आया, साइन जी को अनम्यूट करते हैं. अच्छा. He says yes, understood. अच्छा. अरुणा सेज वन मोर टाइम. ठीक है. देखो, मैथमेटिकल फिगर्स में मत जाओ, मैं सिर्फ आपको ये पढ़ा रहा हूँ, यहाँ पे ये पढ़ा रहा हूँ कि जो टोटल ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन होती है, उसका हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव है कि उसका थ्रेशोल्ड निकाल लेते हैं. थ्रेशोल्ड का मतलब है कि यार इस मार्क से ऊपर अगर ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन हुई ना, तो मैं श्योर शॉट हो जाऊंगा कि यार लिस्टिंग डे गेन हो गई, मतलब मेरे चांसेस बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाते हैं और गेन भी अच्छा खासा आ जाएगा, राइट? व्हाट इज दैट वन थ्रेशोल्ड? What is that one level above which, if I apply, let's say if the oversubscription is above that, my listing day gains almost are certain and I get a good average return also, right? So 1 डाल के देखा, greater than 1 win rate इतना अच्छा नहीं है. Let's make it 2 now. If I make it 2, my win rate increases. Focus on the win rate and average gain. Right? I'll just maybe make it colored also so that it's easy for you to focus here. ठीक है. इन दोनों नंबर्स पे फोकस करिए. ठीक है. 2 किया तो ये आ गया, 5 कर देता हूं मैं. जैसे ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन 5 हो गया, विन रेट 90% पहुंच चुका है. 90%, एवरेज गेन हैज बिकम 33. एंड बाय द वे 33 इज ऑन द लिस्टिंग डे इटसेल्फ. इशू प्राइस से ऊपर, इशू प्राइस इज लेट्स से 100, लिस्टिंग प्राइस लेट्स से 133, तो लिस्टिंग गेन कितना हो गया, एवरेज गेन कितना हो गया 33%, ठीक है. इफ आई मेक इट 10, 92%, 39%, right? If I make it 20, 96%, 46%, right? Of course, now what is happening is, if I apply in companies with oversubscription of more than 20, the number of companies where I'll apply keep on decreasing. Number of companies where I'll apply greater than 20 वाली कम होती जाएंगी, ठीक है. बहुत कम कंपनीज होंगी जिनका oversubscription more than 20 होगा, ठीक है, more than 20 होगा. So we also cannot keep like a very high number, but we also cannot keep a very low number क्योंकि win rate कम हो जाता है, ठीक है. So if I apply like 30, my win rate almost becomes 99, right? Almost becomes 99, and average gain is 52.34, and I'm left with 80 companies out of 294, which means out of the 300 companies I invested in almost 25% of the session, 25% of the companies. 25% of the IPOs में मैंने apply किया, उन 25% of the IPOs में मेरी 99% सक्सेस है, 99% सक्सेस है, with an average gain of 52.34, with an average gain of 52.34, right? If I keep going further, because it is already reached 99%, मुझे और कोई ज्यादा फायदा नहीं मिलेगा क्योंकि विन रेट बढ़ता जाएगा, 99 से 100 हो जाएगा, बट कंपनीज भी कम हो जाएंगी. With this exercise, the optimal number I have also plotted it on a graph, ठीक है, वो ग्राफ पे प्लॉट करके देख लिया है, उस पे लॉजिक पूरा स्ट्रॉन्ग लगा के देख लिया है कि क्या ऑप्टिमल रीच है. दैट ऑप्टिमल नंबर इज 30. समरी है, दैट ऑप्टिमल नंबर इज 30. अगर आपको कुछ भी समझ नहीं आया तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आपको याद क्या रखना है, 30. 30 क्या है, 30 क्या है, total over subscription of an IPO is more than 30. You have 99% surety, at least from the past data, कि it will open up with a bang. It will open up positive, right? Now there was a question, opening success क्या होता है? Very good. अब आते हैं एक इंटरेस्टिंग इस पे चीज पे. I also correlated all these numbers with opening gain, मतलब लिस्टिंग डे में ओपन कहाँ हुआ, लिस्टिंग डे पे क्लोज कहाँ हुआ. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंगली बहुत सारी ऐसी कंपनीज जो हमने अभी 30 के ऊपर वाले में अप्लाई करेंगे, लिस्टिंग डे ओपन होता है बट लिस्टिंग क्लोज होते तक, मतलब लिस्टिंग डे क्लोज होते होते वो नीचे आ जाता है, राइट? So the criteria, if let's say you are a trader, I will not follow this because mostly I'll apply in only companies where scrap is also getting followed by investment wise is also good, and then I'll apply. But if you are a trader, you should not wait till the end of the day. If you get allotment, you have to sell in the maybe within like 1 or 2 hours of opening. Opening day gain will be more. Opening day will be more, right? ठीक है, तो ये एक हो गया, ओपनिंग सक्सेस पे फोकस करना है. How to find that 30? How to find that 30? Very good. So let's go to, I'll show you. There are 2 websites that you can actually follow. One is Chittorgarh IPO, यही है. तो चित्तौड़गढ़ IPO का लिंक शेयर करते हैं एक तो. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे आपको चित्तौड़गढ़ IPO का लिंक शेयर हो गया चैट में, राइट? अब कुछ कंपनीज यहाँ पे, जितनी कंपनीज का IPO है वो यहाँ पे लिस्ट आ जाएगा, ठीक है. लेट्स ओपन अप एनी हियर, लेट्स से डेटा पैटर्न्स, ठीक है. इसका ऑलरेडी क्लोज हो गया वैसे, बट यू विल गेट ऑल इंफॉर्मेशन हियर. व्हाट इज दैट इंफॉर्मेशन? लेट मी जस्ट शो यू. Yes, so Data Patterns IPO got in total oversubscription of 119. If 119 is 119 above 30, yes. Should you apply for Data Patterns IPO only for listing day gains? Yes. Though I've not, because I've not studied fundamentals of this company, I cannot comment for the long term. But for listing day gains, it looks very good. Yes, so Baljinder Singh ji is asking, will we get to see this before IPO? सो आईपीओ प्रोसेस में क्या होता है, जो अलॉटमेंट बिडिंग ओपन रहती है 3 डेज तक, बिडिंग ओपन रहती है 3 डेज तक, डे 1 डे 2 डे 3, एटलीस्ट 3 डेज तक, कुछ आईपीओ की 7 डेज तक भी होती है, ठीक है, कुछ आईपीओ की 7 डेज तक भी होती है। तो आपको अगर ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन का अच्छा एस्टिमेट चाहिए, तो आपको 3rd डे अप्लाई करना है, बिकॉज पहले दिन अप्लाई करके दूसरे दिन अप्लाई करके आपके चांसेस नहीं बढ़ जाते। एनीवे इट्स अ लॉटरी सिस्टम, आप तीसरे दिन भी अप्लाई करेंगे तो भी आपके उतने ही चांसेस हैं, तो तीसरे दिन करोगे आपको अच्छा खासा अंदाजा लग जाएगा कि पहले 2 दिन में कितनी ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन हो चुकी है। अगर पहले 2 दिन में ही ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन इज अबव 30, you can consider applying for that IPO, ठीक है। इसमें एक और फैक्टर होता है जो बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं, which is ग्रे मार्केट प्रीमियम, उस पर ध्यान नहीं देना। ग्रे मार्केट प्रीमियम इज ऑलरेडी कंसिडर्ड इनटू ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन। अगर ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन ज्यादा है तो वैसे जीएमपी ऊपर ही आएगा, ठीक है। बट अगेन आई एम टेलिंग यू आई डू नॉट डू ट्रेडिंग, which is where I will actually go back to my presentation. The process that I'll follow, I'll show you then. ठीक है, one second. So these are the factors that impact, right? Now the framework that I'll follow always is I'll do scrap first, which is for long-term perspective. If you're applying in IPO, from a long-term perspective and this is mostly for the students of Multibagger Bootcamp also, you should also then look at the total subscription. And if the total subscription on the 3rd day is more than 30, sorry, I've written 20 here. It should be more than 30 here. More than 30. I've given a typo here. Okay. If total oversubscription is more than 30, then only you should consider in IPO. ठीक है। अगर आप ट्रेडिंग पर्सपेक्टिव से बात कर रहे हैं तो जितना मैंने एनालिसिस किया है उतना सफिशिएंट है, बिकॉज 10 इयर्स का डेटा देखा है, 99% सक्सेस आ रहा है। आप ट्रेडिंग भी कर सकते हैं। अगेन डिस्क्लेमर इज आई डोंट डू इट। आई एम टेलिंग यू वेरी फ्रैंकली, आई डोंट डू इट, right? But if you're a trader, you can definitely consider it. There's 99% success in the past that you will get good listing day gain. दूसरी चीज जो आपको ध्यान में रखनी है कि यार ओपनिंग गेन इज मोर देन क्लोजिंग गेन, तो आपको ओपनिंग पे ही बेच देना है, क्लोजिंग तक वेट नहीं करनी है। दूसरा एक और फैक्टर मैं यहाँ पे ऐड कर देता हूँ, लॉस मेकिंग कंपनीज का जो रिटेल कोटा होता है ना, वो 35% की जगह 10% होता है। 35% की जगह 10% होता है। QIBs का ज्यादा होता है, 75%, 15% HNIs का रहता है। तो QIBs का लॉस मेकिंग कंपनीज के लिए, फॉर एग्जांपल Zomato, their QIB quota was 75% instead of 50%, right? Just one added information you should keep in mind. वहां पे भी आपको टोटल ओवर सब्सक्रिप्शन ही देखनी है। If it is more than 30, I checked that data also. If it is more than 30, you can invest, right? Apply on 3rd day. Don't apply on 1st or 2nd day. 4th is, if you want to increase your chances of allotment, some people what they do is they apply from different brokers. Grow पे भी apply कर दिया, Zerodha पे भी apply कर दिया, उससे कुछ नहीं होगा, because all these demat accounts are linked to one PAN card. तो PAN card पे allotment होती है। अगर आपको chances बढ़ाने हैं तो आप different PAN card से apply कर सकते हो, अपने जैसे मम्मी का, पापा का, भाई का, उनके थ्रू apply कर सकते हो, आपके chances बढ़ सकते हैं, right? Again, disclaimer again is, I will follow this process because I am by nature, I am an investor by nature. I'm an investor, and trading actually does not suit me, right? Does not suit my personality. Okay, so I will follow this process. I will first understand the business, understand the company, etc. If it looks good, then if I have to, in order to apply for the IPO, I will first check total oversubscription कितनी हुई है. If it is more than 20, if it is more than 30, sorry, then I'll apply. Okay. Cool. तो ये न्यू एज कंपनीज का तो नेक्स्ट लास्ट सेशन में उठाते हैं, ठीक है, बिकॉज लास्ट सेशन कैन आल्सो एक्सटेंड आफ्टर 6. Very good. So I covered first, let's say, I give you a good gist of what investing versus trading is, right? You should first understand that that's a mindset change that you have to have if you have to go from investing to trading and from trading to investing. Okay. Investing is suited to like some personalities, trading is suited to some personalities. For me, and some personalities which can manage both as well. For me, investing is the way to go, right? I follow the SCRAP framework, which I also teach, right? I gave you a gist of that: sector, company analysis, rejection criteria, allocation strategy, and psychology. I use that for analyzing good companies. Initially, I was not in favor of IPO investing. I told you the reasons why. There are a couple of biases, less information is available, etc., etc. And the data was also not in my favor. So IPO investing, I did not do. Let's say, like I think 3 to 4 months back, I was not doing any kind of IPO investing or IPO trading. But my view changed when I actually expanded my horizon and said कि यार कोई कंपनी अगर ऑलरेडी अच्छी है, तो और मेरे को इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल गई है, मुझे कन्विक्शन मिल गई है, तो व्हाई शुडंट आई इन्वेस्ट इन आईपीओस? तो देन आई स्टार्टेड इन्वेस्टिंग इन आईपीओस आल्सो. आई इन्वेस्टेड इन नाइका's आईपीओ. ठीक है, मुझे मिला नहीं, वो अलग बात थी. बट देन ड्यूरिंग द सेम टाइम व्हाइल आई वाज एक्चुअली अप्लाइंग फॉर नाइका's आईपीओ, आई आल्सो वांटेड टू बी श्योर that whether I'll be getting listing day gain or not, right? So that's where I did this analysis. I found out this correlation that I showed you. The correlation is very, very simple. It does not depend on a lot of factors. Very, very simple to understand. If oversubscription, total oversubscription is more than 30 times, you have a 99% success ratio, 99% success rate कि आपको opening day पे gain मिल जाएगा. You will get an opening day gain, right? That's where I added one more factor to the framework, SCRAP framework that I have. SCRAP framework for fundamental. अगर IPO में कर रहे हैं तो देख लो कि total oversubscription is more than 30 times, right? अगर आप ट्रेडिंग कर रहे हैं, अगर आपको सिंपल लिस्टिंग डे गेन्स बनाना है तो वो भी आप कर सकते हैं. आई हैव शोन यू द डेटा कि 99% तो आपको सक्सेस ही मिलेगी, राइट? सो दैट्स द जिस्ट ऑफ इट.